Hello everyone, it's Anna. Welcome back. So this is week 3 of round 2 on the Cambridge weight plan, and it is round 2 because I did quite a little bit. Then I had a bit of a hectic period between late January, February and March and early March, and then it really took me till about end of March, beginning of April to get my act together and say, okay, let's really start doing this again properly. So I'm going to give you a bit of an update of where I am, both in terms of the weight that I've lost since I started, so round 2, which was 3 weeks ago, but also the total weight loss since my very start back in June last year, actually back in May, because I'm going to share my weight since the very start. I did 3 weeks on Slim Fast before Cambridge weight plan. So given that I've had a bit of an up and down, I'll give you the totality of the weight loss and then the current weight loss. As you know, I love the Cambridge diet. It's very low calorie based. It helps me to focus on building the right behaviors, on getting into the right mindset, and on losing weight quickly. I have lost tons of weight. I'm feeling fantastic, and this is my way of giving back because I feel like I've gained a lot through this, and I've learned a lot. So if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to go through, then please let me know. So here we go. In the last week, I have lost 1.1 kilos, and that is the equivalent of 2.4 pounds, which is fantastic. And in total, since the start of round 2, which was 3 weeks ago, I have lost 9 kilos. So the first week was a whooping 6.6, so a whole stone. 6.6 kilos, which is a stone, then 1.3 kilos, and now 9. So those 9 kilos make up a total of 20 pounds in 3 weeks. And divided by 14, that's 1.4 stone. So absolutely delighted with that. Definitely feeling better. I'm kind of starting to get to the lowest that I have been. And starting to feel the benefits, definitely starting to see it going down. So really happy with the results. Since I started back in May, however, before I go into my very early weight, as you know, I have been following, for those of you that I know you've been with me for a while, you know that I was following strictly all the way up to January, when then I went to Paris and then I got ill, and then all of these up and down, change of jobs, change of location, then back home and all of this. So I was up and down, and through that period of 2.5 months, give or take, I put at 7.1 kilos in total, which was quite surprising how easily it can creep back up. But also, once you get to a certain level, for me, was really interesting to see how all behaviors start to creep back in, and the need to control that and to understand what your triggers are, and finding your own strategies to manage that on an ongoing basis, and being very focused on managing that is very important. But I also find that taking stock of how much you've lost makes you think about the fact that you don't want to lose it. So that's why it's really important to go back to the very beginning. And if you don't believe me, go back to my early videos. You don't have to watch them if you don't want to. Of course, if you want to and they help you, great. But you will see, even just from the thumbnail, the pictures, just my face and how much I have changed in the last 9 to 10 months, 11 months has been amazing. So since the very beginning, with those with the compensation, I guess it was 9 kilos loss after 7.1 kilos gain, so that's about another 2 kilos to add to the equation. That makes a total of 51 on Cambridge and 53 altogether since the start of May. So if I do 53 kilos weight loss since May last year, which was actually effectively it's a year ago on Friday, so 53 times 2.23 is 118 pounds, and then we divide that by 14 to get the number of stones, and that's 8.4 stone. So you know, is it Jamie Cullum that has that song that says what a difference a day makes? Well, for me, what a difference a year makes. and it has been amazing just to see the evolution in myself and to see the changes. Even if some of it includes this crazy hair situation that I have going on with the regrowth. So it's been really insightful to see that. 53 kilos. I mean, who would have thought? You set up on something like this that is really aspirational, and as much as I wanted, there's this level of belief that goes along with it in terms of what you can and what you can do. So it's almost like a dream. You wish you can do it and you set yourself your goals, but if you really stick to it, you find your strategies, you work around it, you continue to go at it, even if you get derailed and even if you take a detour. If you're really focused on what you want to achieve, this for me is showing more than anything that you can do it. And I still have a good other 20 kilos to go, but I am more determined than ever to continue to go after it, to continue to focus on the weight loss and just stick to it for as long as I can. You know, being on lockdown whilst doing the diet actually helps because you're not exposed to all of the food and the social situations that you would have otherwise. So from that perspective, it's easier. My husband has started doing it with me because he put on 2 stone since December, since Christmas. He did the diet. He also lost about 7 stone. So he got to go away and looks and felt absolutely amazing. Then through holidays and everything else, he also put on 2 stone. So he tried to manage it with the diet, but actually felt that he needed something to give him a bit of a boost, that he had got a little bit too caught up in the addictions that fat, sugar, salt kind of gives you. So not because he went from just picking out a few things to then just all habits really creeping back in quite quickly. And I think I've mentioned before that he was a bit of a combination between the Cookie Monster and Animal of the Muppets, if you've ever seen that. Just put those 2 characters together and that's kind of how he had been feeling about food. So him going on the diet has been really helpful, but interestingly, he's been stuck in that space for a little bit longer. So we were talking about that earlier on in the week, just to understand what was going on, because I was starting to get quite worried as to whether it was sugar addiction that was driving that, because it was like chocolate, or whether it was something else. And for me, it's important to understand both from a let me help you, I'd like to help you get through this, but also thinking about longer term maintenance and the effort that it's going to take. I also want to understand what drives that and what I will need to do to help to counteract that. Because what I am very focused on doing is making sure that now that I'm putting all of this effort in losing all of this weight, the once I get to goal weight, that I just maintain that, and that becomes a lifestyle. And the last few months have given me a taste of how easy it is for things to creep back up again, and the need to continue to stay focused on that and identifying when things are happening that might change that. So I thought it was an opportunity for us to learn a little bit from that. So we kind of talked about it, and in the end, after a lot of I just want chocolate, I want this, I want that, I don't know whether it was because it was Easter and the chocolate eggs were out not long ago, or what it was. And in the end, we landed on the fact that actually he's been feeling hungry all the time, more than when he's done it in the past. And we weren't sure whether it was because of just the fact that it's not got that long to go, or the type of food that he was eating. But he was on, he's been on 4 products a day. And what he was doing is on the very last one, so he has breakfast, lunch, dinner, similar to mine. But then after dinner, later on about 8:30, 9 o'clock, he would have a coffee with a lemon bar. And what we found out is that that lemon bar actually triggers his sweet cravings, and it's not enough to really fill him up. So actually, we went through, well, what might help you and what might help you more, and what might fill you more, and what will you still enjoy and feel like you get that sense of satisfaction from your meal, because for him that is very important. So in the end, he swapped the bar for a shake. The weather helps, so you can have a bit of a shake with ice, and we blitz it in the kind of ninja bullet thing. And so he's changed to different shakes, and that has made a big difference because he gets more volume, he gets more water. As a result of that, it still gives him that sweet kind of treat feeling that he wants, and he actually needs that. So that's something that we've worked out that we need to make sure that he gets, so that he can sustain the meal plan throughout the day, and something for him to look forward to, and that really helps him out. So to know that he's got that in the evening, for me it works different, but for him it really does. So we could try to fight his nature and his needs, but we've worked out that when we manage around that, actually he can stick to it, and he feels a lot better, both on Cambridge but also on food. So that was interesting to understand what works and what doesn't. And after a few days of, even after the first day of swapping to the milkshake, he calmed down a lot. After 2 days, he stopped talking about chocolate and food all the time, which he was doing constantly before. And after 3 days, he's not even thinking about any of it. He's looking forward to his shake. He's enjoying it. So for me, it's made me really think about, both on Cambridge and clearly off after, the need to continue to understand what is happening to your body so that you can address that, because there's clearly some needs and some changes and things that you can tweak that help you get or stick to the plan that you need to stick to help you get the results that you want, which is, I think, is an important lesson. But also the fact that if you're just feeling that kind of food, I need to eat moment, it's okay to feel it, and you're going to feel it. But probably if that's happening, there is something going on that you need to address. So not to judge yourself too harshly, and not just focus on the food, because I think it's very easy to just say, I am, I'm just stressed and I'm eating and all of this. But you really need to get underneath the drivers, what's creating you the stress, what is making you behave in a certain way, why you're craving a certain food. Is there a specific nutritional need that is not being met? Do you need more water? Do you need something else, more exercise? Do you need a distraction? Do you need to talk to somebody and just kind of get something off your chest and deal with it? So it has been quite interesting, and I wanted to share that with you. I know that that is difficult for different people, and especially being at home all the time because you're surrounded by your kitchen cupboards, food is kind of calling you. So I think it's important to think about why that is, but also if you're constantly thinking about food, you either need to address something in terms of your nutrition, what you're eating, what you're not eating. Maybe you're being triggered by sugar, maybe you're not eating often enough, maybe the times at which you eat do not work for you, and you need to rethink what will be the times that work better. Maybe you need to drink more water. Maybe your willpower is at its lowest because you're surrounded by everybody else around you eating food, which is bloody hard to deal with. And when you're having that temptation around you, you really need to continue to focus on your goals and what you're trying to achieve, and find ways of pushing back on all of that food around you, which is more difficult when you're in a more closed environment. But it may be that you need to set boundaries of what you want to see or not see. Maybe that you need to find yourself distractions, things to channel your energy, so you're not thinking about food and you can be distracted with other things. Whatever it might be, to help you get those kind of strategies and things that you can do to keep you distracted, to keep you focused, to keep you going. Because if nothing else, you know that you're doing this for yourself. And for me, it's going to be quite interesting because I think, with my parents being in Spain, they're in complete lockdown with everything that's going on. They don't want to go anywhere, and they're older, so I'm glad that they don't want to go anywhere and they're locked in. but it's probably going to be, I don't know when travel is going to start, so I'm probably not going to see them for at least 6 months to a year, until I think we're able and willing to travel. This is just pure speculation, but that's kind of where my head is at. So I was thinking of the difference that it's going to make when they next see me, because hopefully if I continue the way that I am, I may be able to be at my absolute goal weight by the time they next see me. So I'm hoping that by around September-ish, I'm going to be at my goal weight. Fingers crossed. So aspirational, but that's kind of where I'm at. So if that is the case, then, you know, this is the perfect opportunity for me to just focus on it, get it done, and get ready for the future. But at the same time, I am very aware that I need to, given what I went through at the start of the year, I'm very aware that I need to find ways to stick to it and to build my own strategies. And that's going to be important, because it is very easy to follow this diet when you're at home and you kind of are in this bubble space of self-containment. But one of these days, and it will happen, we don't know when, but it will, we will be going out, we will be meeting people, we will be going places, you know, shops will open again, coffee shops will be open, restaurants will be open, events will start to happen again, and we will rejoin that gradually, but we are likely to rejoin that social activity that we've had, that we're craving, that we need. But we're going to go from complete self-containment to all of a sudden the world's going to be our oyster, and we're going to see all of those things that are going to be so different, and we're going to want everything because we've been so restricted for so long that I'm just worried that I'm going to turn into my own version of Animal and the Cookie Monster put together, and therefore I need to find the ways to continue to focus on the diet and to find the strategies to keep me at it until I achieve my goal weight, and even after, so I can sustain it. So that's kind of the reflection for this week. I'm still delighted with progress. I'm still feeling really good. Excuse the lighting, it's not the greatest, so it's given the video a bit of a fussy state of being. But it's going really well, you know. I've got more time, you can tell I've got more time to do my hair. I've got a new brush thing. Don't know what it's called, but it's one of those kind of big hot brush that dries and brushes your hair at the same time. I'm happy with it. Since I'm not going to the hairdressers and this needs a cut desperately, I'm dealing with my mane. I'm sure that all of you are too. My dog is totally a furry beast. She looks like a mini Yeti. I would show you, I will show her, but she is right now asleep. She didn't have a good night. I think something's not agreed with her, and she's asleep. So maybe I'll show her to you next video, so you can see how we're both getting on with our crazy at-home hair situation. I'm looking forward to going to the hairdressers, but I can tell you I'm looking forward even more to my dog going to the groomer. And I do not dare sort her fur out. It could be a complete disaster. Anyway, I am totally digressing. I hope you're having a great week. I hope that you have an amazing weight loss. I hope that if you're thinking about it, you take the plunge, because it's a fantastic opportunity to focus on yourself. The products are supposed to give you all of the nutritional needs that you have for the day. So whilst you're on low calories, you should still be able to get all of the vitamins and minerals that you need for your body to keep on working efficiently. So you will feel good actually, and if you're following all of the measures for self-isolation, etc., there's no reason why you should be impacted more than others. And imagine what we get to re-emerge from this with whole new bodies. You know, things are changing. I don't know when was the last time any of you may have seen me completely, but things are starting to change. You know, my profile is completely different to what it used to be. I'm very, very happy with the progress. So I am looking forward to my next 20 kilo loss. and I seem to be going at a kilo at a time. It's going slightly lower, but I'm also approaching certain time, so that may slow down, and then after that I know that my body just kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down, so we'll calibrate as we need to. But so far so good. So have a great week, take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Leave me comments, love to hear about you. Bye.